Today is the day to start your author journey. I'm excited to share with you the Expert Authority Effect publishing method and want to focus on your time. If I were to hand this to you, you could take it and I have no doubt be better off for it. Do you have something you can hand someone, like a professional book? I don't mean just a business card, because time you can't get back. It's precious. Once it's gone, it's gone. So what is your time worth? And there's two parts to this. One, there's something that's been holding you back from going, you know what? I see all these great people with books. I don't know if I could do one. Something is stopping you, and I want to knock it the hell down, because you should do a book. Every business needs a book, including yours. But there's something that's stopping you. A few common things I've heard are like, I don't want it to be bad. I don't want it to be bad. I don't want to look bad. I don't think this looks bad one bit. I think it looks freaking great. I've never showed the back off, have I? Oh, it's like the stealth. I should keep it secret. And there's more. I'm not showing you under the cover. But there's reasons that stop you. Just like they did me, and then I got over them real quick, but then I cried the way through the whole thing because it was like 10 years ago, and I really was like kind of a mess with all of it. And I'll never forget sitting down to publish it. And I like rewrote like everything that had been bottled up just like came out, and I like wanted to look over the table of contents, and I ended up like adding 20 or 30 pages. It was crazy. And I was like, what is going on? And there's a whole thing to it, but there could be something that's preventing you from the path. I don't want it to look bad. I don't want to look bad. I don't know what to write about. I know what to write about, and I want to. I just don't know what to do. And there's other ones, but they're generally in the same vein. It's like variations of one of those. So if it's you don't want to look bad, are you doing it for you or for your audience? Because I've said this for years and I'll say it again. Stop being selfish. It's not about you. It's about the person you can give the book to. Is that the right angle? Well, it's not a left angle. I'm going to set that here. Move my phone. It's about the person you can give the book to. I don't need the book. I wrote it. I've done multiple books. I've helped people with hundreds of books. I don't need it. It's not for me or about me. Well, it is about me, but it's not about me. You know what I mean? It's about you. I'm very excited to get this in your hands and you go, here's how it changed my business. Here's how it changed my life. Thank you so much. I should have done this sooner. That's my goal. Adding value and benefiting you, transforming your business, transforming you. It's not about you. So if you're going, I don't want to look bad, cut the ego crap out. It's not about you. If you don't want it to look bad, that's a legit concern. This little puppy, I don't think looks bad either. But this was 10 years ago. You don't want it to look bad? Don't design it yourself, even if you're a designer, and I can prove why you shouldn't, because you're too close to it. Wait, I should have paused there more. If you don't want it to look bad, don't design it yourself, even if you're a designer. Here's why. You're too close to it. Whether you know video marketing, video editing, designing, Photoshop, whatever the case is, audio engineering, it's just too close. Even if you decide to do it on your own, depending on your budget, it may make the most sense. It might not make any sense. It's a ton of work, but it's still worth it. Oh, that would be interesting. Just got another idea. So even if it does take hundreds and hundreds of hours, which it does, to do it proper on a big scale and properly release it. I don't mean hack something together and throw it on Amazon. That's a whole different ballgame. But I mean like on this level. That was a lot quicker. And I still didn't only take a few hours. It was probably dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens. It may have broken 100, but I'll get to that in a second. All you have to do is have a bigger vision and not do it the wrong way. I don't behave. I see people all the time that have these covers that are just there. You're putting, maybe this is what it's stemming from. You don't care. You're just doing it to do it. If your intent is to just do it to do it, fine. There was one cover I did design because I was doing it quick. I wrote the book in a day and I wanted it out and to be done with. And it was more of a lead magnet than anything, but it still was a substantial book. The cover still looks good. It's nowhere near as good as these two. But you know what? No one was like, oh my gosh, this is just so off the wall. But I see these people that hire people, book coaches, writing coaches, publishing coaches, marketing coaches, whatever, publishers, hybrid, took a course, whatever the case is. I have all that. If you want it, let me know what level you want to engage at. Happy to help. There's nothing wrong with it. You should be doing something. Congrats for not trying everything from random online articles. But don't drop the ball at any stage of it. You might be more concerned with the cover than the content. You might be more concerned with the content than the cover. I hope I said those two different ways. The content matters, the cover matters, the publishing matters, the distribution matters, the marketing matters. That's generally where most people drop it. You could have the best written thing, but if no one knows about it, why do you think I'm doing this? It's so you know I can help you. Because I can't actually help you unless you know I can help you and how I can help. When's the last time you told people and were that explicitly clear? Hopefully earlier today or later today, or how would you have already done it later today? That's a whole other conversation. So drop the ego. It's not about you. Make sure it looks good. I mean, you do not need to be a rocket scientist to go, does this look good? Put it out on social media. I'll say that with a caveat. Don't make final decisions just based on random people. The real way is talk to your clients first, talk to people that are professional, talk to potential prospects, potential clients. Their vote is weighted more, but if you take a sampling from anyone other than you, the fact that it's not you is going to be beneficial, and it might just like really tip in one direction that you're not expecting one way or another. I mean, if you go A, B, or C and 80% say B and you wanted C, it's going to be B. So then, again, get off your high horse, listen to what people are telling you, and maybe add 10 or 20% back in of you, of that version, so you're still excited. You have to be excited about it. Don't make it look like a monkey drew it with a crayon, but you have to be excited. If you absolutely hate version B and everyone else loves it, I don't think I've ever seen that happen in the last decade. But there's been times where I'm like, okay, what do I tell everyone? I got to take my own advice. But I'll still add a little detail back into it that excites me. I don't mean redo the cover. So my point is, the covers are going to be similarly, A, B, and C, the name's going to change. But for example, let's use mine. If the pen went sideways or was on the left versus the right. Okay? Or if this text was down here, or this was different than that. Like, you're changing subtleties in it. You're not changing the whole cover. That's what I mean. One of my things was I wanted the representation of writing on there. I was thinking every aspect of this through, and I go, you know what signal? I was like, this is pretty hook, line, and sinker. It's a book on publishing and writing. It's writing and publishing. It's even argued as, I don't want to say it's more on writing, but it's very in-depth, which I'm proud of. I wanted a pen. I was like, okay, now what type of pen do I want to signify? It wasn't a pencil. It wasn't a marker. It wasn't a crayon. I'm like, it's a pen. Okay, cool. Now what kind? It wasn't a Bic. Okay. And there's reasons for all of it. But so I was like, there's no way in heck I'm taking it off. I don't care what anyone says. There's no way. But then it was a matter of, is it laying down? Is it crossing over? Is it over here? How do we incorporate it? So the part that excited me was the pen to signify to you writing. And I was excited about it. So I'm like, there's no way I'm taking that off. But I did have to concede on the final placement because my idea was absolutely stupid. Admitting it. So that's what I mean is it can still have your flavor, but it doesn't need to change. And this isn't a whole talk on cover design, but my point is don't be so wrapped up in your ego you don't do it because you're more concerned what other people think. If you do your best, they're going to be impressed with it. So that's not really even a concern. I think it's more internal fear, and it's hard to diagnose that with randomly not speaking one-on-one. But it has to do with ego without a doubt. The second one is making it look good. That's kind of easy because you just don't stop until it does. Okay? I don't know what to do, but I want to. Well, that's easy. You get the book. It tells you what to do. You get the training. It tells you what to do. You work one-on-one. We tell you what to do. All you need is to bridge the gap of expertise and confidence. You didn't know how to do anything when you were younger. Neither did I. Why do you think I love learning? You can learn new stuff. Shocking. But you have to try. It would actually take less work to actually do it and go through it than it would to be complain about it year after year. But that's a whole other thing. There was a fourth one. I don't know. It was good, though. Oh, the time. I think the fourth one was the time about, in my mind, of the mental notes that I'm using here, because there's no teleprompter, it had to do with the coffee dates. And I think that's what the fourth one was. If it wasn't, I guess I'll just have to make another video. But the first three are good enough for you. But it has to do with your time. Well, how long does it take? It's going to take dozens of hours, if not hundreds of hours, depending on how elaborate you do it. Year one, 10 years later. See any patterns? It's not rocket science. You just have to do it. And even if you screw up 9 hours a week and you try 10, after so many weeks, after 6 months to a year, you're probably going to get it right because that's still 26 to 52 hours-ish. And I hope to God you don't keep, you're at a 10% learning ratio. That's literally all year you'd have to be screwing up 90% of the time. That learning gets in there and eventually it starts, whatever. You get better the more you do it. But I know people that have been saying they're going to do it for literally the last decade. That one. I guarantee you they could have pulled anything off quicker than that. So, I'm going to wrap this up with the value of your time. How many appointments do you go to where no one is pre-framed, pre-sifted, predispositioned, where you're positioned as the authority, and you get to share info with them? Every single one of these saves no less than 3 to 6 hours of all the, let's do a coffee date. Okay, I'll call you, you call me, then we'll think about it, then I'll talk about it. Gone. How many appointments do you do a year? And let's say between, 3 and 6? I think it comes out to 4.5 if we average those roughly. Let's just say 4 hours. I'll give you benefit of the doubt. How many appointments do you do a year times 4 hours? Even if it was 8 to 10, I still think you could pull something off. It won't be this, but it'll be in between that and this. It'll be closer to that. My point is time's going to go by either way, and you're going to be investing 40, 50, 60, 100 hours no matter what. It's just a matter if you actually try and at some point you break the cycle, or in 10 years from now, I'll be doing another one of videos with I'll be doing another one of these videos saying 10 years ago when I published this, and there's still people doing it. I know there's a percentage of you, but I'm looking for the people that really want the help. So with that, it's time to start your author journey. eapublishingmethodbook.com. Get your copy today. Get a copy for a friend, and get the limited edition hardcover because it's a bundle and there's a lot more comes with it along with the audiobook, and it's very exciting. I will do a video 10 years from now and say that goal I set out to do, I'm glad I did. Can you say the same thing? I hope you can.